the same thing over a period of time will inevitably make whatever it is that you are playing and practicing better. So in this video, I want to show you this piece of music that I wrote a while back that should help you improve your speed and fluidity. Now, fluidity and speed are two separate things. I never really practice for speed, but I do practice for fluidity, meaning I try to make everything that I play look simple, smooth, effortless, regardless of the speed. In fact, I can still play the same musical idea I played at the beginning of the video way slower, and it will still sound fluid. So for me, fluidity has really very little to do with speed. And today I want to show you how you can make your playing more fluid by learning the basics of the plucking technique. And I'm going to show you how to play this musical idea so that you can practice this constant, continuous movement that is the alternate plucking. Now let's just talk about plucking for 1 minute. Let me just show you step by step the plucking motion and what happens when you pluck the strings. Now I believe that you should always position your right hand at a 45-degree angle. This is extremely important because it allows you to pluck the strings smoothly with the left side of the fingertip. Now I call the first movement preparation. In this movement we move the finger away from the string using the bass knuckle. Right after the preparation we have the plucking. So we move the finger towards the string and we strike it upward, this time using the middle knuckle. Now remember that the very first point of contact is the left side of the fingertip. And then if you have fingernails, that will be the second point of contact. Now we're going to start this melody with the pickup bar. So we have the note E, F sharp and G sharp. It's the melodic minor scale, the A melodic minor scale, on the D string fret number 2, 4, and the G string fret number 1. Then you want to put down the A minor chord, and we have this beautiful arpeggio. So just put down the A minor chord and pick the G string, the D string, B string, G string, E string, and B string, and then we change position and we play the A minor here on the E string and B string fret number 5, always with middle and index. Then we're going to switch to a single note melody on the top E string, fret number 8, 7, 5, 4, 5, open, and back to position 1 on the B string fret number 1, and then the fret number 2 on the G string. And then we have a longer section played with a lot of different chords, and here we're always going to be playing with the alternate fingering. So we're always going to alternate between index and middle, or middle and index. Now this section is played starting with the E string fret number 1, and I play with the middle finger, E string open, fret number 3, 1, open, 3, 1, and back to 3. We're playing over 2 strings. Then we have, so the E string open, then we got the B string fret number 3, 1, open, the G string fret number 2, B string open, 1, and the G string fret number 2. The next section sounds like this. So the B string fret number 3, 1, open, the G string fret number 2, 1, 2, B string open, and we finish with the G string fret number 1. Now we're going to start the same way. We have a slightly different section. So the A minor is the same, starting from the G string all the way up to the bottom fret number 5. And then we have this quite interesting way of playing the A minor scale. It sounds like this. So we start with the top E string fret number 8, 7, 5, and then the B string fret number 8, 6, E string open, the B string fret number 3 and the G string fret number 5, B string open, and then the G string fret number 2 open, the D string fret number 3, 2 open, and 3, 2 open on the A string. Now we have the A string open, fret number 2, 3, the G string open, and the D string fret number 3, 2, 3, the G string fret number 2, and we finish with the G string fret number 1, the D string fret number 2, 4, and 1. And the last note will be the note A on the G string fret number 2. Now everything is played with alternate fingering, and I start with the index. We can obviously add the bass note to the melody. Now the first one is the A string open. So we have the pickup bar, and then the A string simultaneously with the first note of the melody. The A string again. Then the D string, the G string, the A string fret 3 with the note C, and then the D string fret number 3 with the note F. The note B on the A string fret number 2, and the low E string, and back to the A minor, the A again, the D string, the G on the low E string fret number 3, and the note C on the A string fret number 3. Now I'm changing the fingering here. Pick the strings together, D string open, and then the A string fret number 3 played with the third finger and with the second finger. Now the bass is going on low E string fret number 1, and then we have the A string fret number 2 with the note B, and then the low E string. And we finish with the A. So obviously the left hand fingering will be slightly different when we add the bass note. Now just to give a structure to the exercise, we're gonna have some jumping chords. So we have the D minor chord, so A string fret number 5, and then 7, nothing on the G and the B string fret number 6. It's just a D minor triad. The picking pattern is always the same. You have thumb, index, ring, and index. Then we have the G major chord on fret 10, 12, 12. It's the same set of strings. C major on 3, 5, and 5. F major to 8, 10, 10. And the B diminished on 2, 3, and 3, and E major on 7, 9, 9. And then just the scale, the A minor scale, with the A string open and the E string open, fret number 3 on the B string, 1 open, and the G string fret number 2, B string open, fret number 1 and 3. And we go back to the D minor, G, C, F, B diminished. We play it twice. And we finish with an E major chord. We just lightly strum this chord on the bass note. And then we have the last chord, the A minor. We're going to start with the note E, F sharp, and G sharp, just like the beginning. You put down an A minor chord all the way up to the fret number 5, and then we have 8 and 10, 12 and 13, and we finish with the A string and the top E string for number 12. Now guys, this is a really good exercise if you want to develop fluidity, and I really recommend that you start with the slowest speed possible. You can use the metronome. It's kind of pretty straightforward rhythmically. Everything is played with 16th notes, so you have 4 notes per beat, but start at a really slow pace. This is the most important thing, and focus a lot on the alternate plucking, alternate fingering technique. You want to become more fluid at playing the guitar. You have to work on the basic movements. Understand the plucking movement, understand the right hand position, and practice this exercise, which is played with this continuous movement. You can't really get away from it. So pretty exciting, pretty cool. And I'm going to also add the tab to my Patreon page if you need it. Make sure that you check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Let me know if you like it, and I'll talk to you next time.